it's us again. This is Joey and Roy from ThirdDuelist, and in case you're wondering why we're wearing the same shirt every day, that's not exactly how this works. We're recording all these in bunches because we don't have a lot of time. We go to school, so we're busy a lot. But that's why we're all wearing the same shirts, in case you were wondering if we were just 30 people. But that's not true. So anyway, we'll cue the video now.
Alright, so today we're going to be discussing our play styles and like how we go around building a deck, like the reason behind some of our decks, and so you kind of know what our theory is and what we're thinking behind it and kind of how we're playing. So
it's kind of a broad topic.
Yeah.
We'll just start. I'm an asshole. That's not actually a player type, but I like the decks I have built right now are Stellar Knights, Yangzing, Sylvans, oh god, what else? Heroes, which just got put together, and Chainbeat, which just got put together. Okay, so excluding Sylvans and Heroes, which are, well, Heroes are kind of a control deck. Sylvans are an aggro deck, which the only reason I built that is because I want to play something different. But Stellar Knights are definitely a control deck. Playing 15 traps, and then Chainbeat's the same thing. And Yangzing's is I'm going to make a Yazi, flip a skill drain, and laugh at you. So 3 of my 5 decks, well, and 3.5, because Heroes, Dark Wall, screw you. But 3.5 of my decks are control decks. And I don't like playing aggro. Like Sylvan's, the only thing that kind of sucks is like why I don't play aggro as much is you have to commit stuff to the board, and then if your stuff blows up, you're just like, well, shit, my stuff's gone. Fuck, I can't protect my stuff. Like, so I personally am more of a control player, and Roy here is the exact opposite.
In a way.
List your decks.
Well, I built Medolces and Quackies, and I'm working on Curries.
No, that he had Dragon Ruler.
I had Dragon Ruler for like 2 weeks, and then I just got tired of it.
Yeah, because the resource is too strong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, I guess you could label me as like a combo player. I like combos, and it doesn't always work out.
Just
but the theory
is not talking about the food.
That was bad. That was bad.
Hey man, you said it that way.
But anyways, I like combo decks because in theory, at least for some of the experience of dueling, especially if it's a deck they haven't really come across before, the combos, they don't know what to stop, they don't know when to activate something, and they usually don't do anything until I've already established my board, and by that point I usually have already done something or have something that can stop something.
So from my perspective, when I'm playing against that deck, I like that because I play decks with lots of traps where I'm in control of things, so I'll just be like, oh, you're gonna do something. No.
See, yeah, generally bad playing against him for me, but it's also good experience for me too because then I also have to manage my resources and, okay, he's already activated one warning, he doesn't have any others.
I could.
I mean, you could. You do have Judgment and your Chain Beat, but
yeah.
And
if you haven't seen the deck profile, go watch that and you'll understand.
Yeah, and this is also good experience for you too because it makes you feel better because you can beat me.
No, it's
like,
actually good for, like...
It's good for both of us.
Yeah,
like, our play styles are almost completely opposite.
They like complement each other. Like it's good for both of us because I have to manage my resources because I know you're going to make big pushes.
And tag duels were fantastic.
Oh my god, when he had Dragon Rules built
and Yangzing, skill drain, 3 in each.
6 skill drains and lots of fun.
Anyways, I like combos because unless you're extremely intelligent like Joey is with traps, and which have been going down recently a lot, which I feel like
it's helped
amazing.
You a lot
because they're going to have to manage their traps too, and they're not going to be like, okay, when do I stop this? And sometimes they don't know what to stop. Medolces are, most people know how to stop.
Well, another thing that gives me an advantage is I've played against him enough. I know what his stuff does, so I know when to activate my stuff to stop his plays. But
like Quackies, like you can continue if you want.
Generally, when what's his fuck took Quackies to the regional, did really well and made him an actual thing. No one what is this deck? I've never seen this before, and that gives you an advantage. But when he plays against me, he doesn't have that because we play each other all the time.
Yeah. And usually we bounce ideas off each other too. I'm like, okay, I'm building this deck. I need this. Like, I want to take this and would this be a good idea? Then we take a look at it. We're like, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Well, no, like we film our deck profiles together, so we know exactly what each other's playing.
And
so.
But normally I'm playing against someone else, like especially Quackies. I bring them out. They're like, what the hell is this? Especially when I can use Wolf Bark and Bears and Gorillas. It's like, yeah, and like. I like combo decks that can get into staple exceeds, so that's why I really like Medolches, because they are a bit controlly once you get your play going, and they are combo, which I love, and then you can get into staple fours, which is pretty good.
Stop saying you love combos, I'm gonna keep laughing.
Shut up. Arby's is the best.
Can't argue with that, it's Arby's.
Taco Bell second, but that's arguable.
Whatever, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic. So, I like combo decks because it requires your opponent to think more, which is always good because if they're stupid, they can't think and they'll screw up, or if they are smart, then they have to think and then they might be too slow, which is also good. But I do like playing against people who know what the hell they're doing. So, I mean, if they're smart, they play it right, then, well, that sucks for me, but at the same time, I lost to somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Well, no, it doesn't necessarily mean you lose either. Like,
yeah, that's true too.
We generally split a lot of our duels. Like, we don't keep track, but like, it's pretty even, or we wouldn't play against it anymore because we get bored. But
yeah.
We both play very different play styles, and it's good for us to play against, because if, like, I was playing Chain Beat, and he was playing something stupid like Pac-Man or whatever, we'd just sit there and stare at each other, and it wouldn't be fun.
So if you
don't know what Pac-Man is, I'll elaborate quickly. Pac-Man is where you play stuff like Des Lakuta and Swarm of Crows and Swarm of Scarabs, and it's just a bunch of stupid flip effects like Swords Revealing Light, Threatening Roar,
and Marshmallows.
Yeah,
I hated those.
And it's
BLS too.
No, like literally, we would just sit there and stare at each other. It wouldn't be fun if we were both playing like a stall control-y deck, and at the same time. But it's really fun when we play control like aggro decks. So when I play Sylvans against your Medolches, that's okay. But at the same time, or not Medolches. What was it? When I would play Sylvans against your Dragons, it'd be who makes Crimson Blader first.
Yeah.
They win.
And then after that, it was like, oh, you're gonna bring out Big Eye. Well, I'm gonna Big Eye your Big Eye, or I'm gonna Big Eye your Draco Sack. So I mean,
I'm gonna Big Eye your Big Eye, and then use this effect to Big Eye your Draco Sack.
Yeah.
Screw you.
So it was like that one was just who opened better. And
Yeah.
a lot of times it was Sylvans because Dragon Millers are terrible early game.
So anyway, the point we're trying to make is that our two different playstyles complement each other and help us practice against stuff. It's not what we're playing in general. But we're going to get a little more in-depth here, just with our playstyles in general. I guess I'll start. My playstyle is less of a field, like we talked about this in our field versus hand advantage video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. But I prefer hand advantage because it gives me more options to do, like just card advantage in general as opposed to having advantage over the field. Just because it gives me more options, like if I have more cards, I can do more stuff, like simple as that. And I don't really, like Chain Beat I guess has field presence in the way you can't kill my rabbit, so screw you.
They're banished, they're not on the field, they're out of the way. So
Can't kill my rabbit. But regardless, I don't really feel the need for that much field advantage in a lot of my decks. As long as I have the cards I can make a play next turn, and I can protect myself from OTKs with my traps, then I like hand advantage over field advantage. Another thing I'll talk about, I like staples. I really like staples. I like to play staples in everything that's not just beater deck, Sylvans and Heroes. But I always play my staple 4 and everything, and I've already discussed why I like all those. I like traps because they're face down. You can't tell what they are, so you have the benefit of knowing something your opponent doesn't, and I feel like that gives me an advantage because I know what I can do and what he's doing, but he doesn't know what I have.
For the most part, obviously we've discussed and bounced ideas off each other, so I think I understand where you're coming from with this, and I don't disagree. You
prefer another playstyle.
I prefer another playstyle, and your thinking is bad for my playstyle because while hand advantage is really good, it's useless in Medolches if all my stuff's in my hand. I gotta have it on the field, and same with Crackies and Karakuris.
Yeah, you have to make stuff.
I gotta make stuff, and when I do that, I keep in mind that I gotta have a really good field presence if I'm gonna have anything on the field, and so that's why I like the staple rank 4s, and with Karakuris to kind of change it up, to go into some synchro plays and make some pretty decent stuff.
Make burritos.
And I can OTK in that fairly consistently.
Make burritos.
Yeah, burritos are awesome.
All of them.
All of them. But so I feel like field and hand aren't necessary together. Like that's why we're really good together because you always have the hand advantage, I always have the field advantage.
Well, unless I'm playing heroes.
Yeah, unless you're playing heroes,
No,
then
we
you have
didn't. No, like it was a perfect example of the difference between two decks. We were dueling a tag duel. He was using my Satellar Knights and I was playing heroes because I just got the deck and I wanted to play it. And we were playing against Shadolls and Boogans.
Yeah.
Which isn't an actual deck, by the way.
Yeah, it's not.
But anyway, I was playing heroes, and I burned through all the Boojin guy's resources. He killed all my stuff. Like I made a 4,700 shining, if that tells you anything. All the stuffs were banished, but I burned all my resources and ended up getting that 4,700 shining out, and that was my only card. I had the 4,700 shining. The Boojin guy had no cards, and then he had a bunch of hand advantage, and the Shadal guy, I burned some of his resources too. So my job, I didn't really win the duel. He won the duel with like Trigger and stuff like that, but I burned through all the resources so that he could do that. I wasted all their Fiendish Chains and things like that so that he could get the Trigger off and bounce everything. So just having the two different decks together work really well. Like that's why I like Sylvans and tag duels too, because Sylvans burn through all your resources and my teammate kills you.
Yeah, but for my playstyle, I do feel like field is more important because obviously I need it. And you just, if you're going to play with combos, you have to know what you're going to make and if you can make it, and it better be good when you do make it. And you generally want to have wire taps or trap stuns to shut things off. So in a way, like when I do build mine, it's focused on the combos, but then I do like to play the heavy back row negation stuff.
And protect them. Because if you're committing so much to your field, you need to protect your field.
Yeah, and like I don't like the idea of no traps. Like a lot of the decks now are like running like very little traps, if any, and it's
I play two decks with no traps.
Well, yeah, and like they're fairly consistent, but at the same time,
if you Raigeki my field, I cry.
Yeah, and it's like Raigeki's out there, Snatch Shield's out there. You want to protect your stuff.
It's a risk you have to take when building a deck, and it's just. But anyway, I think that's about it. We've covered pretty much everything.
Oh, I do like staples too, but I'm generally less reliant on those because I do like the wire taps, trap stun, Fiendish Chains, breakthroughs, and I try to get those in more than the staples. But if I can, I always like the warning and the compulse. Bottomless, if I can. Torrential is the least one I like in there because I commit so much to the field. I don't want to blow it up. If you like the content that you just saw, you can click over here on all these other links and check out the rest of our channel.
And if you liked our stuff, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tell us what you thought in the comments below.